Welcome to Seeing with Your Soul, the podcast aimed to inspire you to find your voice and become the best, truest, and most authentic version of yourself. Spiritually intimate, soul-to-soul conversations, life-changing insights, and spiritual teaching and healing. Real, raw, unfiltered. Join your host, Tisha Michelle.
Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Seeing with Your Soul with me, your host, Tisha Michelle. So this is going to be a story of stepping into the unknown and finding the blessing and opportunity in your current obstacle, or maybe you look at it as a challenge. So some of you know my story of my first awakening, and for those that don't, here's a quick version. So my best friend Gloria died in 2017, and my world was turned right side up, but at the moment I believe that it was turned upside down. And her sister told me about a medium that she has spoken to. And a medium is someone who has the gift to connect with someone who has crossed over, someone who has died. And I know you may be thinking spooky or that's demonic. Trust me, I hear you, I get it, that was me. My grandmother is West Indian and she's from the Cayman Islands, and my grandfather is from Cuba. So I grew up in a household with candles burning, but it's the candles that had like the saints in it. So it would be like really dark as it's like nighttime, and I'd be afraid to go to the kitchen because I would see like these different like reflections from the candles like burning like on the walls. It was wild. But I also grew up with, my grandmother telling stories of like the dead, and she would always like be like she had a dream about a particular family member, and then she would call back home, which was in the Cayman Islands, and she would find out that they had passed, but they had come to her before. So and then I also grew up with a mother who also had the gift. So there would be times when my mom would try and tell me something that she's seen, and I'm not even going to front. I'd be pissed. And I'd be like, don't bring that stuff here. Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to know. So I wanted nothing to do with it, whatever it was. However, I was in such a dark place. When I look back at it, I was actually in a place of lightness, that I wanted to hear something from my best friend so bad that I was willing to step into the unknown. See, the unknown is a space that we feel we have no control over. And throughout our lives, our conditioning has taught us that we must have control over everything. We need to control the how, the when, and even people. But when in actuality, we can only control what we can control, which is ourselves, like our reaction and the choices that we make or the choices we don't make. And even in those choices, we don't have full control, as there's other moving pieces that's wrapped into it. So, for example, I'm in real estate and I need to sell a house. Can I control who or when someone buys it? No, not really, but I can control what I can control. So I do have the ability to control someone purchasing it, but that's really just by me fixing the house and having it listed so people know that it's available, right? So I can control that. And once I do my part, now it's up to me to just trust the process. So I can be like, oh yeah, this type of person is going to get it and it's going to sell in one day. I can't control it because I can't control other people. I can only control what I can control. And another example is if you're unhappy in your life, or let's say you're unhappy in the area of your career and you want to change, but you aren't sure if someone will hire you or if you'll even be happy at a new job. So that space becomes the unknown, and it's terrifying. So you may not be happy, but you know what you're getting, and then that space becomes comfortable and content. So you don't have full control over it all, but again, you can control what you can, and it starts with deciding not only do you want something better, you deserve it, right? So when you make a decision from a place of love, and in this case, it's the love that you have for yourself, knowing you deserve more, you deserve better, and matter of fact, you deserve to be happy. And that starts within. And again, it's by making a decision. And when we make a decision to step into the unknown, a world of opportunity and solutions start to appear. It can be an idea. It might be something that pops in your head that says, you know what, why don't you look at your current job and see if there's another position open? Because maybe you like your company and you like the longevity. You're just tired of that position, and there might be something there that's different, but still allows you to feel that sense of comfortability. It could be a nudge that says, go to school and learn a new skill and just become this even more badass of a person. So many things can pop up, things you never thought of, and that's the beauty of stepping into the unknown. We're a world of possibilities instead of that rigid thinking, allowing you to be stuck on one thing. And when that one thing doesn't go the way, that you expected it to go, you're now spiraling out of the control that you once thought you had. So when I stepped into the unknown that day, speaking with the medium, and I was in 2018, it was in January of 2018 because Gloria passed December 29th of 2017. Not only did she say things that made me a believer, it also helped to expand my consciousness, and I started to see the world differently. Y'all, the lenses was switched. So many things started to present itself, and I had the courage to continue stepping into the unknown. So since 2018, when I had that call, I've been to Egypt, I've been to Dubai, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Jamaica twice, the Bahamas. And that's a big significance because I've always wanted to travel the world, but I didn't think that I could afford it. I didn't think that I had the time. I just didn't really, I wanted to do it, but I just didn't see it possible. I've also hosted retreats. I've hosted 4 retreats. I've been on over 10 people's podcasts. I launched my own podcast, the one that you're listening to me on now. Hey, y'all. I've given talks in front of crowds of people, something that I was terrified to do. Like I'm the one that when I was taking college classes, and it was times you had to introduce yourself and you had to stand up, and the whole time while I'm waiting for it to get to my turn, my heart is racing, feeling like it's gonna jump out of my chest, and I'm practicing what I'm gonna say in my head. All I had to do was introduce myself. Why would I have to practice that? I know who I am. I taught over 300 people throughout the world, whether that was through online talks, online classes, in-person, other people's groups, but it was like over 300 people. I've got some different certifications if you're into that type of thing. I ended up getting into the real estate industry. I'm now in farming, but most important, I got to connect to my truth, which then when I look at Gloria's passing, she helped me to remember my purpose, which was to help connect people to their truth. But I had to get connected to mine first, right? I had to get connected to mine first. And then from that space, look at how I wanted to express myself out into the world and how I wanted to basically serve humanity. And that was guiding people to heal themselves and looking at it from a mind, body, and soul approach, right? So this also has allowed me to experience life differently. It allowed me to see myself differently. It allowed me to see other people differently, meaning like not so much of judgment. I'm human, so I still do judge. I judge myself and I do judge some other people. But it allowed me to say, I wonder why they would do that. So instead of looking at it and taking everything so personal, I was able to look at it and say, that has nothing to do with me. Oh, that's what that is. There's some abandonment issues there. That's a coping mechanism, right? So because my lens shifted, I started to be able to look at other people differently, which also allowed me to have more compassion and all. So I'm still a work in progress, and as you're healing and evolving, it's a daily thing. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not linear. You're going to be afraid of the unknown, but you've been put into a position to be able to, how do I say this? Take your goddamn power back. Take your power back. So you know how they say like, oh, face your fears, because then you're not going to be afraid of it. It's so true. It's so true. And when we start to embrace the unknown, we allow ourselves to unlock the door to endless possibilities. And it's in those moments of uncertainty that we discover our true strength, our resilience, and our creativity. And as we start to navigate those uncharted territories of life, you start to find new passions, you forge unexpected connections, and you experience growth. So remember, the power of the unknown lies not in its ability to intimidate us, but it's in the capacity to inspire us also. So embrace the mystery, y'all. Lean into the uncertainty and let it push you towards a future, like a future that's filled with some dope opportunities. So thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. Please stay curious, stay courageous, and keep exploring. Until next time, love you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Seeing with Your Soul. If something you heard resonated with you, feel free to rate, review, and share with others. If you are looking to go deeper, you can connect with Tisha Michelle on Instagram at Mindset Slayer or visit www.healingalignglow.com.